Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here for the Season 8, Episode 3 recap of Alone, or the trying to make a recap of Alone. Not much has really gone on this year. I've kind of thought about it, and the pace just seems to be a lot slower this year than it has been in the past. Maybe it's some strategies that they're trying. The shelters, now I didn't see the first 15 minutes of the show, but with the exception of the mud hut and the guy building the Lincoln log cabin, seems like others are fairly content with a tarp tent. I'm not sure what the weather conditions are like on that island in a couple of months. So I'm not really sure about those tents, how well they're going to be in a couple of months. A lot of them seem to be, I'm not going to say happy, but content with berries and roots. They seem to be a little bit passé about finding other food sources. I understand that the woods is pretty thick, but you can always put down a few snares. I almost feel like I'm sort of getting the feeling that they're waiting for the weather to turn, the leaves to fall, and the land becomes a bit more barren, and they're able to, break out their bows and do their hunting for bigger game. But by then, how many of them are going to have the strength after they just gnawed on pine root for 3 or 4 weeks? So I'm wondering if starvation is always a factor, but if it may not be a bigger factor this year because they're just not feeling the necessity. And just like the guy that caught the fish today, or last night, there is a bit of editing, so who knows how long he was actually staying there fishing, but catching one fish, try to catch two. This being happy with one fish, that'll, give you a day or two of food, but if you can catch two or three. And this, this single line thing, throwing the line out, or the, was it Rose that put together the fishing pole? They're just so, they take energy and they take time away from other things. They need to get those trout lines out there. If Beagle could swim out there in the water, I'm sure the other ones could get out there far enough to put one of those trout lines in. I just think there's so much more they could be doing, and gathering a lot more food and firewood and building their shelters rather than standing there and casting a line for who knows how long. I don't, at this point in time, think they feel the urge of necessity. But that's about it. There wasn't any real clear, I think other than Biko, being Alone's version of John Belushi, that's really about the only thing that may stand out or continue through the show. So I'm not sure they really showed all like I said, I missed the first 15 minutes. I'm not sure they showed all 9 contestants. The other thing too is I guess the bow string being chewed through. Will that be his losing the ferro rod? If your main source of gathering food was the use of the bow, and then the string got chewed through, I don't have a lot of hope in that bow holding out for the rest of the time. So if it does break and he can't fix it, does that mean he taps out? Not a lot of people, I think everyone is going through the same amount of adversity. Like I said, when the first few episodes, as far as picking someone who, like an eventual winner, is the ones that go through a lot of the hardship at the very beginning seem to do well in the end. And there just isn't anyone right now that is struggling a lot more than anyone else. So no real clear favorites right now. Anyways, nothing's changed since last week. Sorry, couldn't be much more interesting, but there's just not a lot to work with this week. It's I don't think until the snow flies we're going to see a whole lot of change. So this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.